Greenville, North Carolina. We are set for the Sea-Doo Wakeboarding Challenge. The best riders in the world have gathered here at Lake Christie to strut their stuff. We begin with 21-year-old Greg Necrason.
All right, here's the format for these guys. 2 25-second passes to just knock out the crowd or themselves, performing wake tricks and air tricks. That's a whirlybird right there. And the really spectacular trick is the one he's got coming up to finish the run, the first pass, the air rally. Huge flying board over the top of his head. A spectacular finish. This is the whirlybird. 360-degree back flipping trick. Just barely gets enough clearance there, but he gets plenty of air. And the judges are looking for this because style is part of this whole format. It's broken down into 3 components: execution, intensity, and composition.
9,200 points. There are 3 judges on the shore, we should point out, who are awarding the points.
Once again, 5 tricks per pass. He's going into a backside crip right now. They call it that because if you fall, you get crippled.
You're cripped, man.
And then the last 2 tricks are tantrums. This is going to be a backside tantrum, which is where he throws his head back, ski over the top. And now the half cab tantrum, a little variation with a slight turn. And this guy has 2 solid stand-up runs.
Yeah, many of the tricks that they perform in the landings especially are blind. They can't see the water. They have to feel it.
Got to have a sensation of the overall body movement. 18,707. This kid was lean, quick, and agile on the course. Deceptive speed, and that's a mark for the rest of the field.
Well, we go from the relative obscurity, really, of Greg Necrason to one of the crafty veterans, Dean Lavelle, all 26 years old. But in this sport, that means you're a veteran.
Dean has submitted the highest valued point run to the judges today, looking for 7,000, over 7,000 in point value as he finishes the Vulcan. That was the trick invented by Parks Bonifay.
May you live long and prosper.
And his 4th trick's going to be the whirlybird. Oh, that is so cool. Gets more clearance than we saw from Greg Necrason. An outstanding, awesome run for Dean Lavelle, scoring 73.25 just on the tricks alone.
Hey. He'll get style points on top of that. Now, Dean Lavelle, as we talked about, the veteran out here on the water, check out the hat that he's wearing. Does this guy know who butters his bread or what? That's a big green and yellow John Deere hat. He knows who the corporate sponsor is here. Dean Lavelle, they call him Clean Dean, Wayne, because really he lands everything and is so clean in his pass.
And I think you're going to see that on this next one right here, a big front flip. Ought to see some altitude right there. And there's where you're talking about that body awareness, because that is a blind landing. Lavelle having a great day there, vaulting. These boards have got so much surface area that allows them to do the air tricks and then just these giant, mammoth, colossal double wake tricks. Frontside railing more difficult to do than the backside because of the angle of the legs and the hips position at takeoff. And then he ends for the S-bend and one of the most fantastic runs we've seen to date.
I can guarantee you, Wayne, the rest of the competitors watching on shore are a little concerned right now as we take a look at some of the very clean tricks that Dean performed out there on the water and racking up a total of 20,908 points. That is going to be a tough mark to beat.
Well, this is not improvisation out here, folks. They have to submit these attack sheets to the judges and stick by them, and his attack sheet had the highest point value tricks of any of the competitors. So Darren Shapiro as well as Jeremy Kovac, they're looking for big scores in the style category, and you look at the momentum and the speed that Shapiro carries. 5'4", he is like a spark plug out there. Gets more vertical and perhaps better extension than the rest of the guys in the field.
Well, he certainly has more wins under his belt. He is the most decorated wakeboarder in the world to date at only 24 years old.
Coming off injury last year, he has really surged back into the forefront. And just take a look, the second pass coming up, the type of speed and continuity. First, we're going to get a replay of his opening run. You can see that extension. He gets his legs straight and his arms and is just like a rock at the end of the rope.
Yeah, he just coils and then springs off that wake. As you mentioned his compact body. He's 5'4", but he's 145 pounds. He is strong.
Watch the flow as I get him back to you. This is where the style points are going to come in very big. A switch stance Vulcan coming up here, but the judges are also looking at speed, momentum, height, intensity, execution, and how. Does it get any more perfect than that? The flow from trick to trick is very important, and there, the speed, and now the air trick. You know, they just hook the edge of the board, pop off the legs, and execute the air trick so easily. He's going to end with a hoochie glide.
Once again, the height is just incredible. Darren Shapiro hoping that this is enough to overtake Dean Lavelle. Now, that was for the crowd. But what do the judges think? 20,908 points is the mark to beat. Do you think he got it, Wayne?
Well, his style points were much better than Dean Lavelle's, but unfortunately the degree of difficulty was not, and he ends up short.
20,430 points will not be enough to overtake Dean Lavelle. Darren Shapiro finished in second place last year in this competition. Is he relegated to that again? We'll find out when we continue with more.
Into the future in this sport, and you're looking at Shaun Murray, 21 years of age from Windermere, Florida. And I think my partner's back still revved up, aren't you now, for the event?
Murray finished 10th in the 96 World Championships and then finished in 6th place in the 96 X Games. So this guy is definitely one of the best riders in the world.
And now he's coming back with a tantrum to fakie. This is where he throws himself back. A little half turn at the end, lands fakie, and finishes with the Tweety Bird. An air whirly bird right here, 360 degrees with a flip, and just barely enough air to slide the board down underneath him.
Yeah, the difficult part there, Wayne, is he's not using the wake to get any momentum.
This is the hoochie glide, the fakie. Nice, you can see how much distance he's getting there. And now throwing the board, springing at the same time, a back flip with a 360, not letting go with the hand. One-handed.
That's a Tweety Bird, you said?
That's a Tweety Bird, which is an air whirly bird. This is the whirly bird, the wake version of the same trick. Yes. Excellent. Oh, and he loses the handle.
He got too much air, and he over-rotated, and he lost the handle.
Got to keep the rope close to control the body movement. He just gets a little stretch and couldn't get the free hand on right here. Launch. What a great spring and rotation at the same time. Couldn't get the right hand on the handle.
Over-rotated, did a sits mark right there on the water, lost the handle, and thereby loses any chance of first place. From north of the border, this is Jeremy Kovac, 24 years old, lives in Ontario, Canada, and terrorizes all the riders here in the States.
He has not submitted as strong a run as Darren or Dean, so he's looking for the style points here, the execution, the intensity. He is one of the strongest skiers out there, well known for his Mobius. Coming up now, this is a flipping and full twisting, the best guy in the business, excellent, great distance and height. And you notice he's got a really strong upper body like Darren because he has a traditional 3-event background, and then in recent years has switched to focus entirely on the wakeboarding.
Well, he's 6'1", 175 pounds. He uses that height and that strength to his advantage. He has a more flowing liquid look out there, and I think he picks up more style points because of that. But does he have enough points to overtake Dean Lavelle? Well, in his first pass, he does. Dean Lavelle right now is leading with almost 21,000 points, and Jeremy Kovac is right now on the way to that type of a score.
Just an outrageous air rally right there. He's flowing well, but he's also combining speed and huge power and lift off the top of the wake. That's an air half cab roll. Now the big backside front flip. Huge altitude there. And the air Mobius, excellent, well done.
Well, Kovac is the world record holder with 21,810 points. But what about today? Enough to overtake Dean Lavelle? No, 20,421 points. And, Wayne, I think you nailed the reason why here.
Well, he submitted a run with more conservative tricks and unfortunately didn't come up with the style points. Dan is now with the winner, Dean Lavelle.
Dean Lavelle with the facial hair, buddy. Haven't seen you like this for a while. Hey, 97, Doo US Open wakeboard champion. How's that sound?
It sounds really good. Yeah, I'm still clean, Dean. I just, I'm finally growing a little facial hair, and it went really good. I had a good time riding behind the Sea-Doo boat. And it was a lot better than I expected, and I just was able to stay on my run, so it was a lot of fun.
Speaking of your nickname, Clean Dean Lavelle, was that the key to the run, though, that it was clean?
Yes, that's one thing I've been really trying to make my runs even cleaner than before, because I realize that style is a big part, and we need to make them clean to surpass. I mean, when you have Jeremy Kovac and Darren and myself, all of our points within like 100 points away, raw points, its style is going to make the difference.
Well, Dean Lavelle picks up $5,000 for first place, followed by Darren Shapiro, Jeremy Kovac, Greg Necras.
Dunbar and Tony Finn, and an absolute